All right, we are here this morning with Dane G, who is one of Saskatchewan's top U15 golfers. This past fall, Dane unfortunately was in a car accident and has just recently kind of got back into golf over the last month or so, right, bud?
Yeah.
So what we are doing is we are actually working together with Adrian from Optimized Golf, who is a physiotherapist here in Saskatchewan, and him and I communicate on a regular basis on Dane and his progress. So what we have going on today is a station that Dane sets up at home, and what we're really focusing on is making sure that Dane gets good rotation and gets pressure into that backside, which is the right side, which is the damaged knee that he had. So again, he is struggling with activating those trail leg muscles, and Adrian and I are working together to try and get Dane to improve his lower body strength and obviously make sure that his golf swing is the best that it can be. So what we have here is a station set up. We have a stick here off of Dane's right hip. He uses that one because previously when we were working on his turn, we would get Dane getting a little bit too far onto his front side, and again kind of creating that reverse C in his backswing. So what we have is a stick to remind Dane that we can get our right hip moving a little bit more towards our trail side, but not allow it to get outside of that foot. We then also have a towel on the ground. And what we do with this one is again to get Dane to activate his right leg in his takeaway and make sure that he's loaded for his downswing, is we actually make his foot inverted. So what I mean by that is instead of making sure that we have the foot set up so that there's pressure on the inside, we make it so that there's pressure on the outside of his foot. What this does is that in his takeaway, as he's loading that back leg, he's forced to put pressure on the inside and stabilize with that heel as well. This obviously then gets him into the proper takeaway and loaded position for his backswing, thus then allowing him to have a powerful downswing motion. So Dane, why don't you show us? So he's got a good setup here. Again, we can see that his foot right now has pressure on the outside, which is not what we want to see. With that towel, he's going to now make sure he's pushing down on the inside of that foot in his takeaway and really make sure that he gets that back leg loaded. So again, just do that again slowly. Just go up to the top. So again, we can see here with this, you can see that he's pushing down internally. He's forcing that foot to put pressure down inside. We can really see that that right leg now is activating. He's got a really good turn. He's not sliding with his hips. He's in a really good spot up top at this golf swing. So we continue to work on that so that when it comes to getting outside, we can focus on him hitting bombs. Okay, so now that Dane's gone through this station a few times and you saw a couple of swings there, again, big thing now is to focus on is taking that away and seeing what he can now do without those implements there. So again, he's got a good setup here. We'll get Dane to go all the way up to the top. You can see he's in a really good spot here. We have a leg pretty similar. Again, you can kind of see here he's playing a little bit of weight out there. We like to see it a little bit more internal. Again, there with a much better spot there. Leg is activated. He's in a good spot. He's ready now to explode forward and hit the ball. Okay, let's give it a swing, Dane. Good. All right, so just to wrap up here, what I like to do, and Dane can attest to it, is I'll have Dane do 5 or 6 swings within that station. Then I'll get him to take that stuff away. Then go through a couple slow reps of trying to simulate what he felt during the station, and then give himself a couple swings with a golf ball as a reward for going through it. And then what he'll do is he'll just go through that cycle 3 or 4 times, and that's kind of our session when we get together. And we try to set that up for his practice as well. We really try to focus on making sure that we have quality practice over quantity.